13 days ago, we told you to buy on this pullback. We told you to buy the QQQs and also to short into the VIX, which is a fear factor. To say we were not 100% right is an understatement from one video 13 days ago. Yesterday, we started taking our profits on the VIX position. I've never really had good August before because many large investors leave, but we accomplished just on the VIX, the contract itself, 53% in 13 days. We also did CFD options, which I did 650% of my money. Of course, we are taking profits with such a good 13 days. In this video, we will go over why there will be a short-term pullback and then why you should also be buying on the pullbacks. But we feel there will be an imminent pullback. For 2 years, we've been telling you to buy in the pullbacks, to buy. If we look at this like a baseball game with 9 innings or a football game with 4 quarters, we are in the 9th inning of this bull market. We are in the 4th quarter of this bull market. In fact, this market is very selective. And when we go over stage analysis today, you'll see a very 50-50 split. Thus, again, this is all about probabilities. When I woke up 13 days ago and I said there was a high probability chance that we were going to succeed, it was because of a lot of indicators lined up. Even though a lot of people on television felt, maybe even you felt, fearful by using a lot of indicators, it takes the emotion out of the trades. And undeniably, you cannot say 13 days ago, we did not tell you to buy on this pullback. And undeniably, for the last 2 years, we've been telling you to buy on any pullbacks. The only problem is now, it's just we're coming to the end. Sometime next year, we will start a bear market. Commodities will go up. The stock market will go down. I'm going to raise cash in the next 3 months in all my positions. And it starts a little bit today. Even though I am not shorting into this market, I am not telling you this is a bear market yet. I'm just saying we've had a good 2 years. Let's take some chips off the table. Hello, investors and traders. Welcome to Insight of Investing. Why is this video important? To know the reasons why we got into these trades and also know the reason why we're getting out of these trades. Even if you are a long-term investor, after a 2-year bull market and probably 3-4 months more of technically a bull market, it will be good to take some profits because the inevitable will happen. 13 days ago, easily the VIX was close to 35. There was fear in the market that we have not seen in 1 year's time. Thus, we came out with a video. We took the closing price of the next day to make sure that we were not giving you an opportunity to get into this play. And thus saying that, it easily went from 32 closing price to the time of this filming of 14.78, which is just on this contract itself up 54%. The VIX is an important factor to watch inside of your investing and trading strategy. But thus saying that, on January 18th of 2023, we started our bullish claim. And for the last 2 years, every major pullback, we've bought more and more and more and continued buying more and more. Thus, on August 5th, we came out with a video to tell you to buy on the pullbacks. Thus saying that, we believe there is another pullback coming. Before we get started, of course, there's a disclaimer. The information provided on our channel is for educational information purposes only and is not intended to be a substitute for professional financial advice. You must be your own financial advisor. You must have your own strategy. Just because I said something on a video does not mean you have to have and follow it. It means you have to have your own system of how to trade and how to invest. Even if I give you all 100 indicators, it will be useless to you unless you know what these indicators are about. We use what's called a weight of evidence. And this weight of evidence gives us a probability of succeeding. Some days the RIDEX indicators work very well. Some days the RIDEX indicators doesn't work very well. But imagine if you had 7, 8 indicators and 6 out of the 7, 5 out of 7 gave you a 97% chance of probability of succeeding. That is what is the weight of evidence. That how we have been successful over 15 years. I am building a system of investing and trading that involves creating a structured framework or set of rules that guide your decision-making process. It helps you make consistent and disciplined investment choices based on a predetermined criteria. I am not selling you a newsletter. I am not selling you a program. I am not doing affiliate marketing. What I am doing is by explaining my information and putting a video out there, I am becoming a better investor, a better trader. This is my why of doing these videos. Thus saying that, I would love to hit the 1,000, which is a personal goal, but that will happen, especially with bangers of 53% and 650% up in 13 days. People will find this video. People will listen. Why am I taking my positions in the 13 days? Yes, it could go higher, but the probabilities of it going higher is not very well. When this number was at 35, when this number was much higher of the fear index, that was the time to be buying. Now is the time to be taking profits. Thus saying that for most traders and most investors, we are still in a bull market. So for this video, I am telling you not to short into the market, even though I am taking my profits. I'm also starting to take my profits on my longer term positions also. Remember, the fear index is a fear barometer. Usually the masses are wrong. Usually what you are thinking is wrong. Our first step is to look at the VIX on a 50-day moving average. 12 days ago, the number was here, which was a buying signal. This is not the only indicator we use. Now, at a neutral signal for this, it's telling us to take our profits. What are our official recommendations? Short term, we are neutral, thus meaning we're taking profits. Still on the S&P 500 and the QQQs, we are intermediate term bullish and also long-term bullish. For the VIX, even though it works counteractive to keep it easy, I'm telling you how does it affect the market? And intermediate term, we are still bullish. Now we get to stage analysis. Over half of the S&P 500 securities and NASDAQ 100 is in a declining phase. Thus saying that it's a very selective market of which stocks are going up and down. So our first key is decide on the overall macro picture. What is the overall market doing? Well, the overall market after this pullback should go up higher. Doesn't mean it will go up higher, but it gets a lot harder because 2 years ago, it was a lot easier to pick a huge winner. But now when you have the overall percentage of stocks going lower, it's harder to pick a winner. Every day I look at the VIX. Every day I wait to the VIX to go to an extreme, and then I wait 2 days more. We follow it why we are taking our profit. On August 5th, this number was very high. Now our short-term indicator, which is a funky version of an RSI, is at 0 for the last 4 or 5 days, thus telling us that this market will go lower. How much lower is the big question. How strong this is the big question. But we also look at medium, long-term, exit swing, and short-term, and they're all telling us to take profits. You see how I'm building a weight of evidence here. I look at the stage analysis. I look at the VIX. I look at a short-term indicator. I look at a medium-term, long-term, exit swing. I am building a probability. For the last 6 or 7 months, this indicator has not worked very well. But a year ago, this was my go-to indicator. The components of the overbought, oversold. The NASDAQ is at an 80% overbought, and this is a very good indication. Thus saying that, usually we would see the FANG index and the Dow very high also, but we've only got a neutral reading. 1 year ago, this indicator was 95% of the time right. For the last 6 or 7 months, it's really given us non-signals of 50, 50, 60s, and not really hitting extremes. One of the questions I get is, how do you trade the VIX? You trade the VIX in future contracts. You could also trade in what we call CFD options. These are the 2 ways that I trade the VIX. I have a probability of succeeding when certain factors line up. And I take what's a small percentage for me, 3-4% of my portfolio, when I have a 98% chance of probability of succeeding, and going to something that could move 50 to 100 to 200% in a week. But it's based off probabilities, and this is what I do. And again, disclaimer, but still trading the VIX is something to look at. Remember, there's also time decay of money inside of the VIX. Let's continue further. Why are we taking our positions out? Put call option on August August 5th, it was 90, a scream. Now we've come to a neutral reading, thus saying that the AA II market sentiment ratio is telling us it's bearish because everyone believes we are going up higher. We go to the indicator that has worked very well for us in the last 2 months, and this is the RIDEX ratio. Again, do not just go on one indicator. You must go on a few indicators because the RIDEX ratio doesn't always work. But on August 5th, when we had 3 times going down to minus 550, we did not tell you the first time. We did not tell you the second time. We told you the third time out, and thus saying that it jumps up to 700. At this number 700, it's telling us to take profits. We have been consistently right because we are using math and probabilities of succeeding. August has usually been my poorest month of trading, but not this year. This year, we banged it out of the park. I appreciate you watching this video, and especially if you watched it to the end. You know the catchphrase: study it, analyze it, adapt it. Peace.